John Foxy on channel John West. I'm having the Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony Adventure. I'm still reversed, but I can just flip my hands, it's fine. Let me just...
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times
Yes,
of
there we go. What?
This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Oh yes, we're answering a question I already know the answer to. It's super confusing. Let's go off this can.
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Kokichi might be onto something there. We just need to forget what we know and just think about it. How did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river. It doesn't make any sense, by the way. Downstream and upstream connect.
That's it!
I feel like the second answer was still true as well.
What if both ends of the river were connected?
Sorry.
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion
It's
wall
the same
too.
wall. Wait, in that case...
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
The reason she only set up one wall, it's because the chapel and the mansion walls are the same wall! Oh, welcome to 3 hours ago, game.
That's it! The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same
I'm reminded
wall.
of the second game with the weird turny
The
thing.
same wall.
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world. The idea is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
It's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch! If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
The secret, huh? Well, that's all a big loop. Yes, I suppose we should clear that up. I'm recording. I am cool. Oh no. W. Oh, I'll go for an L. R. L. D. D. R. L Oh. O. B. S. Delicious world loops!
Yes, that's it. The virtual world is a loop. Loop?
Just like in old games, right? Like, for example, when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world loops?
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away. It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream, and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the
Not a
map
loading point, is it?
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
Oh. Ah, over there. What? Over there? The x-axis loops in the loop be running through the world vertically.
I was wrong!
Okay, what?
Yes, that's...
Right. I'm not really sure what it wants from me here.
Yes.
Okay, they're implying it loops there. But like,
There!
wouldn't it loop everywhere? Isn't that sort of the point?
The map loading point was where the virtual world...
Okay, I see what you're doing.
We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather... her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right! That's how the virtual world works!
He is
Impressive,
loving this role.
Shuichi! For you to get this far! Yes! Yes! You are useful indeed!
For you to get this far? What are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not
Sorry,
me.
I'm adjusting my
Remember?
microphone.
Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center. Which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the
Yep,
x-axis
we
came
just
around
established
in a
that.
loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to
Yeah,
the
the bit I
exciting
didn't figure
part.
out ahead of time.
Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
What is Kokichi's plan here? He's definitely prodding at Kaito on purpose. There's no time for distractions like him. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed Mew. Doesn't matter how many little mysteries we solved. If we can't find the culprit, it would all be for nothing. But I still don't know for sure who it could be. Who used Mew's plan against her to kill her? Who killed Mew? Intermission? It seems like a short trial. I do want to save, just in case. Yeah, I might crash. Who knows? Yes! Okay. Man, I'm bushed. I got no motivation at all. Monophanes period is... hang on, I missed that. Late too. Father, why do you know about Monophanes' cycle? Never mind that. Perhaps his lack of motivation is due to a lack of hibernation. Lack of hibernation? I haven't been sleeping well lately, so I haven't really been able to hibernate. That's awful. What could be causing it? Is it because you have a lot on your mind? It is because the graveyard shift pays for a better hourly wage. Is it because you don't want them to think you're just goofing around? Is it because you want to stay friends? Is it because you want to watch it in real time? Father! He's gone into hibernation. We should let him be. Yeah, you're right. Night, night.
My head! Anatara! Pull yourself together!
feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't. My head hurts so much. I just can't remember.
Have you forgotten? Maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
Quite.
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge. She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit kill her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door.
Yeah, unless he was lying about that.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
No say such mean things. Killing game bad, not Mew. Mew not bad person. Going to think we could have been friends if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh?
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is,
I
the
guess
wall
she was
between
thrown?
them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit
If she was
wouldn't
thrown, we
have
know
been
it's
able
not
to.
Kokichi.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Gonta, not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical
Oh.
strength equalized?
She was put on the board. She slid down. I mean, it might have been Kaito then. Hang on. No, we know he can't have been Kaito. It couldn't have been Kokichi because he couldn't have moved her. Right? Because if he put her on the toboggan, he wouldn't have been able to grab her. Tsumugi or Gonta? I don't know.
That problem. Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens.
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half
How
of
do you
the
know how long the
class
trial's gonna
trial.
be?
How did they send Mew's avatar to the
Toboggan.
other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Okay. I'm not gonna read this, you already know. Them reacting to a loud sound.
Because of that sound, you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
There's no doubt in my mind that the noise is related to this case. Need to figure out what that sound could have been. Might be the clue we need to solve this case. So what was it? It sounded like something slamming hard into something else. What were those two things? It could be... It's the lattice hitting the wall. Maybe the lattice work next to Mew's avatar struck the wall. You think the lattice... Okay, sorry.
Damn it!
Yeah, I was trying to do the toboggan. Well, Mew hitting the wall then.
That's it! I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall.
Oh, it might have been Kokichi then. Because they're leaving the lattice?
The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it
Toboggan.
to crash into the chapel.
Getting Mew's avatar to crash into the chapel from the mansion's roof. There's only one way I can think of how to do that.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
He already knows. He said there was one way.
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof. If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Ukichi's talking as if he's got the whole thing figured out already. But I can't let him distract me. I need to solve the case. I want his jacket. How to make Mew hit the chapel wall from the roof of the mansion. I'm going to find the answer in my brain. I already know the answer. What? I think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's a hidden Monokuma. Okay, I'll try now. Slid. Slid her down. Okay, fine. Down to one heart again.
The culprit used the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Slide?
Nah, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No. It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shumai?
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
I'm positive that's how Mio's avatar was moved, but maybe the culprit used something else as well to help her body slide. The lattice!
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
If it made that much noise, it must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. But not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that.
Oh, you bastard! I clearly hit it.
Even if her avatar...
Well, duh, it would. It didn't need that much noise. It must have built up a lot of speed. Lots of snow piled up on roof. Not frozen solid, right? You'd still slide, though. In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not. It's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing.
That's wrong! No, wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide.
Oh, is
Miu's
my
body.
head disappearing?
Do you remember the lattice that was found by
No, I
Miu's
forgot to
avatar?
set my lights.
The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof.
Seems to be fine though.
I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked.
I can't see the screen from here because of my setup.
But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's
So I'm getting
correct!
distracted. Over there is where I can see myself. I think it's because that light might have gotten more powerful.
After the culprit killed Miu on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the
Means it
roof's
couldn't have been
steep
Kokichi.
slope.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
Gonta? Kaito? Like, who could it have been?
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff. I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that!
Yay, he's back!
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you Grandfather now?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit.
We are?
Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
The culprit? He's gonna say it could have only been one person.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Miu.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was
Yeah, that's what I
investigating the
thought as
mansion.
well.
Aside from you, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Samugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me!
Couldn't have been him. We don't know enough to name the culprit yet, but one of them is suspicious. When we're talking about the rooftop, they clearly lied. But what reason would they have to lie? I'll need to press them for information before making my judgments. Who's the liar? I don't know. I'm gonna go for Gonta. Gonta, did you lie about something on the roof? Dante doesn't... I was wrong! Yeah, that was pretty dumb of me. Let's go for Tsumugi. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna... I don't think he's the murderer, but I am gonna point at Kokichi. I keep forgetting that sometimes it just makes me want to point at the wrong person. I know he couldn't have pushed her, but he is lying about the roof.
It's you! Kokichi, there's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
That's really annoying me.
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now.
Okay. He knows about the lock on the roof.
It was that testimony that bothered me.
Well, it's not normally words. That's new.
When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said...
Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
But later, you said...
Since the mansion was on top of the hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the big handrail, the roof was pretty steep slope. Oh yeah, he describes the roof quite well.
That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Huh? What?
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the rooftop?
I didn't. I already told you that before.
Why you look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
But there's no evidence that proves I went to the roof. Oh, wait. I remember now. That thing Himiko said.
Me?
At the start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
Was it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't!
Yes, she did.
She did not!
She did too.
Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless fight!
Stop them, Grandpa! All this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
Yeah, Grandfather. Stop them before your grandkid is born.
I like how he's just ignoring that.
I'm not gonna apologize, because Himiko said it!
So damn stubborn.
How much longer are you going to behave like this?
We don't have the time for this. But Kokichi is stubborn. He won't fess up no matter what. If he's being stubborn, it makes me think he has something to hide. I'll get him to show his hand. I'll have to prove he was on the roof. Or the rough. I might not like it, but I have to be aggressive. Be aggressive. If we don't get the whole truth now, everyone's lives are in danger.
I didn't go to the roof!
I've had enough of your lies, man.
I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
If you're lying, I'll set your pants on fire!
That's fine, because I'm not lying!
Then why do you look so nervous?
He's lying for sure, but if he keeps throwing lies at me, I'll have to fight fire with fire. Okay.
I didn't go to the roof!
I've had enough of your lies, man.
I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
If you're lying, I'll set... That's fine, because I'm not lying!
Then
I didn't go to the roof!
I've had enough of your lies, man! I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't
Open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
If you're lying... That's fine, because I'm not lying! I didn't go to the roof! I've had enough of your lies, man! I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed
in the salon the whole time, you know?
Liars burn in hell, you know.
If you're lying... That's fine, because I'm not lying!
Then
I didn't go to the roof! I've had enough of your lies, man! I'm not lying! The rooftop door was locked and I...
couldn't open it!
So what did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
I'll reveal the truth. Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
Huh? Lying about what?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you. But you weren't there.
What? Really?
I waited there for a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
I see. You use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi? So who are you guys gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
The one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. Oh, no. Himiko points to Shuichi.
But to go to the salon, Shuichi would need to pass by me in
Ah,
the
called
dining
out.
room. I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there. Oh well. I'll believe Shuichi anyway. He's usually right about stuff.
Sorry, but going to
What?
believe
Like, it's
Shuichi too.
immediately obvious I lied.
I see. I wanted at least Gonta to believe me.
What comes around goes around. That's what
Oh,
happens
it's
to
time.
liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much?
We won't get an answer to that question until the next episode of Danganronpa. Was it Kokichi? I don't know. I feel like it's not gonna be, but he couldn't push the toboggan. Or, yeah, how would he put her on the toboggan? I mean, I guess he could just jam the toboggan and just be like, it'd be a lot. It'd be a lot to do. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I've been John Foxy on Channel West. I've been having a good Danganronpa V3. Killing Harmony Adventure. I need to turn the brightness down because my face and hands are all like whoosh. Thank you. Thank you for watching.